All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're going to talk about the life of a truly beloved community figure, Kelly Burgét. And what we're really going to unpack is how one person's passion for rhythm and connection could create such a massive, profound, and lasting impact. You see this quote? Kelly made us all better. We're starting with this because, honestly, it just perfectly frames her entire story. It's a feeling that was shared by so many people who knew her, and it speaks volumes about the kind of person she was. And that idea of making the people around you better, well, that's the thread we're going to follow. So let's trace this out. How did her personal passions just radiate outward? How did they create these ripples that actually strengthened her entire community in the Michiana area? It's really an amazing look at the power one person has to make a real difference. And that really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? This was her mission. It was never just about performance or, being on TV. It was about using her gifts, her talent in art and storytelling to forge genuine bonds between people. So, where did it all start? Let's take a look. Every big public mission, like hers, has to start somewhere, right? It starts with a personal spark. And for Kelly, that spark was this incredibly deep, lifelong love for the arts. And she didn't just love it, she worked at it with so much dedication, right from when she was young. Wow, okay, look at this timeline. It really gives you a sense of the sheer range of her talent. Her journey kicks off in New York, studying violin, training in a whole host of dance styles like ballet, jazz, modern. Then she gets into the prestigious Alvin Ailey program, which is a huge deal. And that's where she falls in love with West African dance. But check this out. Later in life, she just decides to teach herself the cello. I mean, who does that? It just shows you this constant, relentless passion for learning and expression. And this quote from her, it just nails her whole philosophy. For Kelly, it was never about just hitting the right notes or the right steps. It was way deeper than that. Art was a tool, a way to connect, a way to heal. It was like a universal language. And that core belief, that's what powered everything she did next. Okay, so she has this deep personal passion for art. How does she bring that out into the world, into the public? Well, that brings us to her time as a media host, where she literally became the storyteller for her entire region. And we're not talking about a short stint here. For almost a decade, she was a familiar face on WNIT TV hosting Experience Michiana. Think about that. Nearly 10 years. That's a real, long-term commitment to shining a light on the people and places that make a community special. So what was her secret? What made her so good at this job? It all came down to what many called her superpower, the ability to form a genuine connection. And I know that might sound simple, but think about it. In the world of television, that kind of authenticity is so rare, and it's incredibly powerful. And here's what that superpower looked like in action. She made people feel heard, valued. She had this real, authentic interest in their stories. She wasn't just reading questions off a card. It wasn't an interview. It was a conversation. And this last one here, lingering after filming just to laugh and ask about their families, come on, that says it all. She wasn't just showing up for a job. She was there to connect. All right, now we get to what is maybe her most significant creation, the thing that brought together her love of dance, her love of community, and her gift for connection all into one amazing place. This is where she built an entire institution, right from the ground up. In 2012, she founded the UZIMA Drum and Dance Company. And that name, UZIMA, it's a Swahili word that means full of life. I mean, how perfect is that for a mission statement? That was the whole point, to connect people to that vital, rhythmic essence of being alive. And this is the crucial point. In her own words, this is why UZIMA was so different. It wasn't about putting on a show for an audience. It was about creating a modern-day tribe, a community that can move through life's challenges and celebrations together using the shared language of dance. And the impact was absolutely tangible. UZIMA became a cornerstone of cultural celebration in the region. They were known for these powerful Juneteenth performances, for collaborating with groups like the South Bend Symphonic Choir, really bridging different communities. That Community Service Award, that was just the formal recognition of what everybody already knew. UZIMA was a vital force for good. So what happens when a life so dedicated to connection comes to an end? Well, the connections themselves, they don't just disappear. They ripple outward, leaving this legacy of compassion that just continues to grow. And look, if there's one key takeaway from her story, it's this. Her life is such a powerful, inspiring reminder for all of us, right? That the things we're passionate about, whether it's music or dance or storytelling, they have the power to become catalysts for real, community-wide change. But the key is, we have to share them with generosity and authenticity. Which leads to the final crucial question. It's one thing to sit back and admire a legacy like Kelly's, but how do we actively participate in it? How do we carry that spirit forward in our own lives? And the answer is beautifully simple, left for us in this message. It's not about founding a dance company or hosting a TV show. It's about the small daily acts. Talk to someone new, really listen to their story, offer some encouragement. Because as Kelly's life so brilliantly showed us, we are all so much better off when we choose to connect with compassion and with love.